here, so we're going to shift on over to it. Now, this is Glorious versus Clairvoyant. The first ban was actually on Stitches out of Glorious, so no
Yep.
surprise there at all.
Full ban from Zeratul. Now, Zeratul gets banned against Glorious a lot just because of Glaurung's Zeratul play. However, I feel people need to stop banning Glaurung's Zeratul and start banning his Kerrigan because, in my opinion, his Kerrigan is much more terrifying
Yeah.
than his Zeratul.
I'm with you.
Now, Zeratul's good, but his Kerrigan is terrifying.
And like the Zeratul, I would be more worried about on Cursed because he will just delay the tribute for days. He'll just be the trickiest little Zeratul. You can't kill him, and he's just going to keep throwing singularity spikes at you. But like you said, this way they know they're going against Kerrigan, which is going to make it very scary if Glorious is able to get Arthas. And they're going to grab Arthas for sure here as Valitacidar are picked up. Tychus immediately. Tychus Arthas. Instantaneously. And we're going to see ZPs playing Arthas. And Glaurung's going to end up going into Kerrigan, almost guaranteed. And we're going to have, especially, we've seen this on time and time again. It doesn't matter which map it is. ZPs and Glaurung roaming as Kerrigan Arthas, Wind and Venom, they just blow people up. Clown is just saying, why?
This is a really scary team from Glorious. So far, you got Tychus, Arthas, and Azebo, which...
Wow, Glaurung, so BL.
so business mode.
He's like the youngest person in this draft, too. I love it.
Oh gosh, Mike is hilarious. So this leaves a lot onto Clairvoyant. They have the fact that good supports are still up. They still need a warrior as well. With Stitches being banned and Arthas taken, that leaves really Chen as the only high tier warrior they can pick. But that leaves both Brightwing, Uther, and Kerrigan available to Glorious. And if they get, any of those three with this team that Glorious has is scary. I really hope that Clairvoyant has a Kerrigan player on their team, because if they give Glaurung Kerrigan when they have an Arthas Tychus,
now
that's scary.
It's actually terrifying, and Nazebo too. Like, we're talking Nazebo as well. We're talking Ravenous Spirit. This huge, terrifying front line of just lock you down and stun you down with. Okay. So they snipe Kerrigan. Kerrigan Brightwing. All right, that's really good. That's really smart. I'm glad to see Caterpillar will be rocking the Kerrigan. That's right. I have seen Caterpillar play Kerrigan in the past, and Echo will be on Brightwing once again in this game. All right. So that changes things a bit. This is a curveball thrown at Glorious, if you will, because Glaurung is known for...
There's no warriors.
Chen.
No, for Clairvoyant.
Oh, you're right.
Who are they going to run, ETC? Like with Stitches
they're going to run
Arthas,
They're going to run Murden.
Oh, that's Murden, right.
Yeah,
I don't know why I completely forgot. Silly Zoya, completely forgetting Murden.
Yeah, so Chen Uther.
Jake's got my back.
Murden is in fact picked up here for Clairvoyant. No surprise. Okay, this is
interesting.
This is different. It could have been a lot worse if they didn't pick up the Kerrigan. Now Caterpillar will be switching to Murden. Kerrigan will be played by Atlanta. Atlanta seems to be incredibly well versed because I've seen him play at this point, and just like the last couple days of watching him play, assassins, supports, and tanks. So he's literally sitting in all three roles, respectively.
It's cool to see that teams... I hope teams are starting to practice Kerrigan, because for the while it was just only SMG and Glorious, whoever ran Kerrigan. Yep. I think Maelstrom started running her a bit recently, but overall it's just been two teams. So the fact that we finally see a team who's willing to be like... It's so obvious that Glorious was wanting the Kerrigan there. I mean, they go for her every time she's available. The fact that we now have a team that's willing to snipe Kerrigan away from Glaurung is really awesome. I'm really... That draft was really fun to watch.
Zoya's mic. Let's fix that. Very good. He's biting his lip because he's scared.
Sorry. I had it open, like, as the draft started. I was like, okay, I'm going to keep Skype open, and I'm going to keep it to where I can mute it immediately. Halfway through the draft, I forgot. Oh, I'm so sorry, Jake. I'm so sorry, stream. I'm sorry, everyone. All right, we're loading into the game. Dragonshire for game number 1, guys. This is a best of 3. Clairvoyant Gaming defeated Glorious yesterday, but Glorious Gaming is out for blood. They want to turn this around. We saw serious face Glaurung in the draft. Will they be able to carry it away? Here on the blue side of the map, as Jake makes sure his overlay is correct, we have Glorious Gaming, ZPS on Arthas, Cthulhu on Tychus, Syracuse on Nazebo, Nirak on that Uther, Glaurung playing Chen.
You do it in such a random order. Kubi goes down the list like on the top left line, so I can follow it. Yeah, he goes Chen, Tychus, Arthas. He does it in an intelligent manner. Zoya just rambles. I'm like trying to skip all around. Anyways, we have Echo playing as Brightwing. On Vala, it's going to be Clown. On Tassadar, it's going to be Spanker. Zoya is giggling. Caterpillar will be playing Muradin. And, of course, Kerrigan played by Atlanta now. I'm hyping up Atlanta a lot the last few days because I'm enjoying his play. He's doing cool stuff. We saw him playing Tyrande last night. We've seen him play Stitches. We've seen him play Chen. And now we're seeing him on Kerrigan. I'm excited to see what he can do on Kerrigan. Is he going to be the Glaurung level? I mean, we'll find out.
Yeah, I'm curious. There have not been very many Kerrigan players since her first after her 3 major nerfs. So Kerrigan players, when they do show up, they're very rare. We have maybe 4 consistent Kerrigan players. So will Atlanta be able to make that list? We'll find out today. We have a 3-lane push from both teams in the bottom lane. Nirak sitting in that bush, waiting to see who the third member is. Both teams playing pretty safe. You see Glaurung in the top lane being safe, as well as ZP in the middle, just not overextending to avoid that Kerrigan.
Yeah, Atlanta just made sure he was far enough away from the creeps before he rotated up into the top bush there. Just making sure he's out of vision, so nicely done by him. Like you said, the top lane is going to be incredibly stale. Chen, Muradin, nothing's going to happen there. Middle lane, Tassadar, Arthas, pretty similar story. Both teams having a lot of sustain. Instantly, though, Echo's here capping this shrine as Kerrigan popped on in, showed her head to push them back the best she could. And we have Tassadar here for this rotation if necessary. But Tassadar's going to rotate in as both shrines have been taken by Clairvoyant.
This is something that a good mid lane needs to be able to do on this map. Is we saw Spanker. He pushed his wave, and he came down to help potentially do a gank or save a teammate, and then was back in the middle lane before he lost any XP.
He lost no XP, exactly. In Dragonshire, the lanes are so close to each other, you can do that kind of stuff. But Clown taking a lot of damage here, but he's going to be just fine.
A good combo onto Syracuse, also putting him pretty low. It's so scary whenever you're just stuck in a polymorph and you're less than half health. It's just such a tense 3 seconds where it's like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to die because I can't use any abilities.
Yeah, well, Nirak, that's his favorite place in the entire map. He just sits in that bush as long as he can until he's interrupted, and he goes back to his spot and he waits. But the top lane, again, very standard stuff. Caterpillar actually opted to not try to contest that shrine when Glaurung was on it because he just wants to keep his ammo full here on these towers. He finds it to be more important because without kill, it's going to be near impossible to actually cap the Dragonite. And as long as they're holding this bottom tower, it doesn't really make a difference. But Atlanta going in at the bottom.
ZP is trying to get this big stun there. Echo is in a lot of trouble right now. He's stuck in that zombie wall, but not going to be able to secure that kill. Cthulhu was not in position to help get that gank. Spanker comes down as well. No kills taken. Taking a look at the talents for level 4, everything looks pretty normal, except on Kerrigan, we are not seeing Envenom. Usually we will see Kerrigan's run Envenom, but this time going for the Psionic Pulse.
You know, I kind of like this because if you don't have the double Envenom, it's not as powerful. Typically, we see it with Arthas so frequently that I think this is a fine decision. Yes, it's weird, but I think it's definitely fine. Multi-shot Vala, pretty standard actually across the board and everyone else.
Kerrigan coming up to potentially gate Cthulhu here. They do dive onto that Tychus. His dash is down. The stun ends up missing, though. Oh my gosh, that was so close to them being able to get that DK, but no, Glorious did end up securing that bomb shrine, as well as the top one with Chen getting that one as well. We have 2 people here in the middle with only Spanker to defend. If they can zone him out, Glorious might be able to get this.
Cthulhu getting in position here to try to cap this Dragonite. Of course, Storm is going to be a bit of an annoyance, but without anyone else rotating here, the bottom shrine is in fact capped here for Clairvoyant.
Good team communications. We've seen this happen to both teams where they are willing to not deny an extra time, risk their lives because they're communicating with, they're taking the shrines and they're safe. That's a really good job. And they're getting pulled here into a stun. The stun does end up missing. That's the second time in a row Atlanta has missed his Kerrigan stun. Don't know if that would have secured a kill that time, but it could have been on Cawthon Luck earlier. And you have to land that combo. It is what makes her powerful alone, is that combo.
Right. If you don't hit the combo, she's pretty much worthless. Like, she's not about tanking. She's not so much about dealing damage, even though she does a decent amount. She's really about the, just you interrupt people for so long, and she has 2 interrupts and so few. Actually, I believe she's the only character in the game that can interrupt 4 times. I think she's the last remaining hero that can rewind and do 4 interruptions.
I believe you are correct. Yes. We do see the root go down on Echo, though. Here comes Conflict. Nice knockback here coming in with the stun. ZP is pretty low. Uther does get up the hill. And then we do see Echo is going to fall. Atlanta going to leap onto ZP, but he's getting really low as well. Spanker goes for the shield. ZP is going to fall. Cawthon and Nirak are going for the chase, but you have to be careful because Atlanta is going to have another combo soon. With Tassadar here, that's a lot of shielding and damage. And at the same time, though, Nazeeba was killed by Clown.
Yeah, 2 for 1 there for Clairvoyant. ZP's fell on the side of Glorious, and this is going to open the doors to put on a little bit of pressure. Now, of course, top lane is being held. Is that Glaurung playing Chen? God,
yeah.
That's so weird, by Glaurung. And, the offensive bribe coming out of Echo is actually a big deal. Stealing those Giants, getting a little bit of pressure, it's more of a denial than anything, but it's still a really nice play. And already this top tower is taking a lot of damage, but the Dragon Knight, of course, turning red for just about half a second before Nirak caps the bottom shrine.
Bottom shrine has been taken by Glorious, and so is the top shrine. Both shrines being controlled by Glorious, but no one in the mid lane. We have a fight in the bottom lane. Clown is at half HP. ZP looking for that root here. Have to be really careful. Can't get too aggressive on their side of the lane because Kerrigan pulling you into tower would be pretty devastating. Both teams do have level 10 now. Looking at the talents, Reign of Vengeance again. Everything else looks pretty normal. Yep, no ultras this game.
Yeah, no Ultra this game, which, I mean, it's a different player playing it, but Ultra is still very uncommon to see. And of course, look at the other talents you can see on the side of the Heroics. Pretty standard stuff across the board. A lot of damage going down to Clown, and Atlanta immediately getting evaporated, actually.
Reign of Vengeance hitting Glaurung. Cawthon Luck has to get out of there. Big Ravenous Spear onto Echo. He's going to end up falling. A 2-for-0 kill. I do not believe that Clairvoyant Gaming was prepared for 5 members of Glorious to be ready or be down there at this time. They immediately just became roaming a little bit earlier than you would normally see without a DK being taken. And it was just a well-executed gank and secured the 2 kills.
That's one thing Glorious likes to do, though. They just flip a switch and everyone's there. Like, they make these weird calls that are just like, they don't necessarily have any purpose. It's just the fact that it's weird and teams don't expect it and they catch people off guard. And it worked out. They got a few kills out of it. They got a couple towers and some knights in this bottom lane. And this is going to allow them to cap this bottom shrine, and there's no risk of losing the Dragon Knight.
Pull goes out onto Nirak. Big root from Arthas, though, doing a lot of damage there. Nirak getting caught in this court. He's going to end up falling. ZP is trying to get out of there. I do not believe he has Army of the Dead, but his rune tap is keeping him topped off. Kerrigan's going to fall as well, and ZP is going to end up getting out of here. Glaurung trying to body block Caterpillar. Will they be able to get the kill? Odin doing a lot of damage. He leaps over the wall. Glaurung needs to back out, though. He's about to lose those Panda Pals. Odin gets polymorph. ZP taps well and is back in the fight, but don't think we'll see another re-engagement, as so many heroics are on cooldown right now.
I gotta say, I'm really impressed with Glaurung's just Chen in general. I've never seen his Chen in a competitive match like this, and he used Panda Pal to secure the kill on Kerrigan there, and then he came back in and he body blocked for his team. He did an aggressive body block as well, and as soon as he got low, he knew when to get out. It was just really solid play all around, but it looks like we have a potential Dragon Knight with the poly going down, but Syracuse, the Spiders, will actually delay this long enough.
Glaurung does end up capping that top shrine. It's amazing how even these teams feel. Not just like in the game, but in ability to play right now. Nirak actually getting stunned though. Ravenous Spirit is going to force these guys back. Arthas gets the root, trapping 2 people in that Atlanta, taking a lot of damage. There goes Glaurung with a big kick. Echo is so low. Spanker is about to fall out of that. Will he end up going down? No. ZP just being a little bit too low on mana, and Tychus did end up dying. I did not see that.
Oh man, that Divine Storm hitting 3 people, actually getting the final hit on the Kerrigan, I believe there. Almost got an extra kill or 2 with the Ravenous Spirit. I mean, so very close, nicely done. And one thing I want to point out is that we're seeing the Ravenous Spirit used almost as soon as he sees the Kerrigan use the cooldowns. Once the Kerrigan combo goes off and says, okay, you can't do that for another 10 seconds, bam, I'm using my Ravenous Spirit, I don't care. And it's working out really well. We're seeing it time and time again. Another offensive drive with these Giants. Really nice play by both teams right now.
4 of 5 heroics are up for Clairvoyant right now. Still missing 3 of them. Army of the Dead being down for another 40 seconds. Once that's up, though, all heroics for both teams will be available. Glaurung sitting in this bush here. Atlanta has seen Cawthon Luck, though. They are aware that Glorious is in this party bush here. Don't know if it's the other way around. Cawthon Luck going to go ahead and start pushing out this wave here. ZP and Nirek in the mid lane against Spinker might be a little bit out of position here as they go for the dive, but not going to go for the combo. Just not feeling it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're hesitant, don't go for it. If the team says back off, you just back off. But Glaurung getting jumped on here. He should have Panda Pals available, and he's forced to pop it.
There's Maelstrom going down, but Atlanta immediately gets evaporated there. Glaurung taking a lot of damage as well from Archon. Ravenous Spirit forcing Clown to fall back. Good stun there onto Syracuse. Wasn't in the best position there. Cawthon Luck falls out of Odin. He is going to start doing damage to Caterpillar, but it's not going to be enough. So many people from Glorious are so low, they have to back out of the fight. Good root from ZP hitting 2 members there. He's going to heal himself up. They're actually going to help with that. Cawthon Luck going for the chase. Caterpillar is so low in HP. A 1-for-0 trade in favor of Glorious.
God, that last grenade was so scary. When Cawthon Luck backed on in, he was the only member in Glorious that had any health. The spray was hitting everything, and that grenade, once it hit 3 members, they're just like, okay, we're done. We're backing up here. Really nice stun. I mean, that could have been a lot worse for Glorious.
Every heroic was used in that fight, except for Emerald Wind. It just that was a really awkward engagement down that narrow pathway. Brightwing never got a chance to use it aggressively and didn't really need to use it defensively. But Top Shrine has been taken by Echo. ZP coming up there to help claim that. We'll have to see which way Clairvoyant wants to rotate. Are they going to rotate the bottom shrine, or are they going to try and cut Glorious off? And it looks like they're just going to push mid here, actually.
Yeah, I like this play. If you know they're not there, you can tell that they're in the top lane. Just get some structures out of it, get some experience, some aggression. They are, in fact, prone to losing the Dragonite, but Echo is in this bottom lane, capping that shrine, and Glorious is taking the same kind of page out of their book and pushing this top lane down.
Fort, though, going over to Team Clairvoyant Gaming, excuse me. That's 5 forts to 6 as they just get the first fort, and they're taking keep towers as well for that nice juicy amount of experience. Glaurung actually going for the kick onto Atlanta, doing a decent amount of damage. Kerrigan is very squishy. Have to be careful of that. Another kick going down. Nira coming in. Will he get a big Divine Storm, hitting 3 people there? Atlanta has to back out. Arcus coming up from behind, lands the root onto Atlanta. Syracuse in a really bad position, gets Emerald Wind out of the fight. Caterpillar going for the stuns on him, still hasn't used Ravenous Spirit. Clown trying to kite away. ZP going for the chase. Death Coil does end up hitting him. Will he be able to? Spanker is going to fall as well. Echo is being slowed down now. Does got rid and does not have mana. Does get evaporated. Taking a look at the heroics, once Ravenous used Ravenous, Odin, and Storm, Earth, and Fire, Jake, all are up.
What a big part of that fight came down to that really lost that for Clairvoyant is Rain of Vengeance hit nothing. It did not hit a single member of Glorious. And you're really relying on the damage output and the stuns that you get out of that to make a team fight work pretty well, because it's a huge heroic, it's a huge part of your damage. And without that, I mean, it just went really poorly. He shot it down a nice vertical path angle and a very narrow choke, but it was just to the right, so it didn't hit anything. We can look at the talents here just to kind of look at the builds while this Dragonite is just kind of wrecking this middle lane. And it's pretty standard stuff. Now, if we compare the Chen build the last game, it's also damagey, but it's not nearly as much of a focus on the pressure point. Really, just level 1 is different.
Chen ends up falling in that fight there. Glaurung, I don't believe he got Storm, Earth, and Fire off, so just a little bit of a misstep there from him. ZP in full retreat with this Dragonite ended up getting one of the keep towers levels. Glorious almost has a 2-level lead onto Clairvoyant right now. They're in full retreat. They want to get this DK. It is Arthas in there. Does he have Army of the Dead up? He does, so he might have to pop that here. Cawthon Luck coming from behind. Spanker taking a lot of damage there. Does miss the grenade. Has to back off. Good kiting there from Cawthon Luck, spacing very well. Here comes an Emerald Wind from Echo as he was stunned, and Glorious is willing to re-engage this as so many people from Clairvoyant are half health.
Yeah, I mean, it's 4v4. It's definitely a favorable thing to re-engage there, but that Emerald Wind, I mean, zoning well enough, allowing them to back up. They're just going to grab the Knights here, a nice safer play. Shrines shouldn't be all that far off, even though the Dragonite just fell. It spawns pretty quickly, and right now the name of the game is grab the Mercenaries. We see Knights have been picked up for Clairvoyant, now Glorious, and you can see both teams making their way to their Giants. Bribe will not be used for this. Echo currently sitting at 0 bribe stakes after all, and these Giants will be picked up by ET, but got an engagement.
Yep, Glaurung dives onto Atlanta, knowing how Kerrigan is so squishy. There's a big random evasion this time, though, hitting 2 people the first volley. There comes Calvin Luck from behind, doing a lot of damage to Spanker. He is cutting back as well as he can. Atlanta is going to be the first to fall. They're standing on top of this. Caterpillar has to get out there. ZP is so low. He does end up falling, but it looks like they might end up getting the Giants. Glaurung is about to pop out of Panapals. Odin doing a lot of damage from the backline. Syracuse is over the wall. Hasn't got that great Ravenous Spirit up. And Nirak does end up getting zoned up by the Emerald Wind. Coughlin Luck in full retreat. Odin is going to end up going down here. I think he's half health outside of that, and he will be able to get away.
Now, they managed to seal the Giants. They managed to get 2 kills, only losing 1. Pretty nicely done by Clairvoyant there, a minor win. Glorious does still have the level lead, just under a full level advantage at this point in the game. The Shrines are going to be up in 20 seconds, and they won't have Arthas and Chen. They're 2 frontline heroes until that time.
That might be able to get them a Dragon Knight. It depends on how Glorious handles this. They need all 3 people in one to contest one. Because when the Dragon Knight spawns in 3 seconds, they still won't have Chen for another 10 seconds. And Chen has to walk to mid. But
no,
Nirak getting a little bit greedy there. He has to sprint out using that really early. Heals himself up. Nirak, gotta be careful, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's so risky to be out there without your tanks. They know you're vulnerable, and they were ready. They were just waiting in the bushes. Dragon Knight is actually being picked up by Atlanta for free. Like I said, those 2 tanks were down for all that time. Rain of Vengeance used really preemptively to try to lock down Nirak. But is it going to work out? He's so low. The Dragon Knight almost able to get the kill. Wait, Vala gets obliterated here in the back line. And with Glaurung going in, and Nirak barely lives. I mean, looking at his health, he's at 170 health right now. Spanker taking a lot of damage as well. Zoya take it away.
Ravenous Spirit goes down onto Caterpillar. Echo is in full retreat. He took so long to teleport into that fight, though. Muradin's going to fall. It started off such a great fight for Clairvoyant Gaming, but Echo didn't teleport into the fight until after Vala was dead. Glorious was very patient. I can't believe Nirak lived through that. Just maybe if the punt was onto Nirak instead, it would have gotten the kill. I wonder if that was a misclick or he just thought they were going to get the kill. I can't believe Nirak lived, though. That was crazy.
I think it was a mistake to use Rain of Vengeance as preemptively as they did. And I think they put so much focus on killing Nirak when Glaurung dove in on the backline, able to kill Vala. It was a big mistake there. Got a little bit greedy, and he barely didn't die, so it's unfortunate to see. But, you know, right now that kind of stabilizes the game. Still 1 level lead going into level 20 now. No talent advantage, of course, 19 to 18, but 20 is a crucial swing. We're going to see some Resurgence go down absolutely out of Glorious. We will find out what happens at 24 Clairvoyant.
You know, twice now, Jake, you brought up Rain of Vengeance, and I couldn't agree more. Strafe is such a powerful spell. It does so much damage. And if you're willing to give that up for Rain of Vengeance, every single Rain of Vengeance has to be valid.
It's got to be on point. It's got to be on point.
It's got to be on point, like you said. And twice now we've seen them not used optimally, and it really is. It's obvious it's affecting Vala. Now, we see level 20 has taken from Glorious. They're going to get 3 Resurgences, I believe. ZP getting pretty low here. Will he pop Army of the Dead? No, he's just going to go down. He did have that Resurgence. Yeah. His team was probably like, you know what? Resurgence, let him die. Don't pop Army here.
So lucky he got it at that last possible second. Like we said, now we have 3 Resurgence available on the side of Glorious. That's a huge power swing available at this level 20. It's still about a half level away for Clairvoyant here. Now, of course, the extended range on the Ravenous Spirit and the upgrade for the Odin. We'll find out very soon what Clairvoyant will pick, but the Shrines are spawning in just another 25 seconds.
Yeah, we have the option of 2 as Clown gets caught out of position here. Root does end up missing, but Ravenous Spirit used to cut that. Everyone win immediately breaking it up, and now Echo's in a terrible spot. Divine Storm ends up going down, and they do secure 2 kills. 60 seconds until these guys are up.
Right, and with Resurgence available on Glaurung, this pretty much gives them the Dragon Knight. Like, 2 members down, it's going to be near impossible for Clairvoyant to do anything about this. They're picking up their Knights here because they know they can't go contest the Shrines, and then they might try to get a pick, but it's risky for them to be on the map.
I agree. They're about to have level 20. I'm curious if they're going to have Tastor take Resurgence. Most of the time you don't, but against 3 Resurgence, Coughlin getting caught a little bit out of position here. He's not of Resurgence. Big Root from DP. Odin goes used by Coughlin Luck. Nirak doesn't have Divine Storm right now. Big Newt going down onto Atlanta Dome, and he gets annihilated. Caterpillar and Spanker are in full retreat. ZPS landing some slows. He gets the E out of there. Here comes Syracuse from the bottom, though. Will he be able to land that zombie wall? Another nuke going down. No one walks into this one. I don't see either of these guys going down. Spanker does not have his wall up. Good body block from Syracuse. Spanker's going to fall. Caterpillar's going to walk out of there. 1 person left here for Team Clairvoyant Gaming, and they do have the DK. Look at Glaurung just going for that key.
I just want to rewind to that battle at the top shrine, because They dove on Cathalamach really quickly, and they were doing a lot of damage to him, but ZP's got that perfect Howling Blast, rooting two people. Cathalamach backed up just enough to pop his Odin when he was out of their range, and then by that time, Nirek had got up there. It was really nicely done, and that's going to be game. I mean, just like that, they lost those two members. It was enough for them to grab the Dragonite. There's no stopping a Dragonite at 20 minutes of the game with two members down like this.
It's something you have to be aware of, guys, when you're going into a draft like this, is the number of Resurgence of the Storms. That entire game felt reasonably close. A little bit toward the late game, it felt like Glorious was getting a more handle in the game, but once you have 3 Resurgences versus 0, it just changes the pace of the game completely, because Glorious, who was playing semi-passive, not wanting to, throw a little bit of deaths here and there, were able to completely turn around. We saw ZP just not even pop Army of the Dead early on because he knew he was going to be respawning soon, and their aggressiveness just tripled once they had that many Resurgences. Even at 20, more than likely Clairvoyant Gaming would have only taken 1 on Muradin.
Right, and it's rare to see a composition that's actually able to kill an Arthas that quickly. They were able to stun lock him before he would even be able to use Army of the Dead one time, and it's because they have Muradin Karen, and that's like a nice win, but Resurgence completely negates that. It's just such a huge talent swing, or power swing, if you will. I actually didn't look at the level 20 talents on the other side. So my bad on that, because there was just too much action at the end of the game. But we're going to figure out what our next map is in just a moment here. Again, best of 3 series, currently 1-0 in favor of Glorious.
Yeah, Glorious just looked really on point there. There was a lot of the whole early to mid game just felt really even between the two teams, like skill level wise. Like both teams were denying ganks, both teams were rotating evenly. It just felt like the teams were evenly matched skill wise. And then towards the late game, it was going a little bit back and forth as both teams were slipping up on Dragonites, but Glorious seized the moment. The moment they hit 20, they just completely changed the game around. And